Hello, I'm here to talk to you about a concept I'm really interested in, and it's the concept of status. Um, and I'm going to talk to you about how to increase it for yourself, but also for other people. And I want to start off with a quote by the poet Rumi, who said, "When words come from the heart, they enter the heart, but when they come from the tongue, they rarely make it past the ears." And I really like this quote, and what it's trying to say is that it's not so much what we say, it's how we say it. If you think about conversations that you've had during tense, frank, or even tender moments, maybe particularly impactful conversations, you may have, without even knowing it, placed emphasis on certain words just to ensure that they carried more weight. You may have thought about your body language, you may have gestured, you may have modulated your pitch. And it's not so much what it is we're saying, it's kind of how we're delivering it. It's how we express ourselves. It's about what version of us is showing up, how we present ourselves, how we turn up physically and emotionally. And status isn't about hierarchy or seniority labels. It's about how we see ourselves, and it's about also how others see us. But all of that is subject to change. Status for ourselves and other people is really malleable and flexible. It changes all the time. And I'm going to explain a little bit more, and maybe you can consider applying this to your management, your leadership practice, your everyday life, whatever it may be. This idea has really been helpful for me, and I just want to share it with you. So yeah, status, it is fluid. It's, I think, quite a broad and wide-ranging word, a really emotive word, a bit of a controversial word, often with negative connotations maybe, but it's everywhere. I mean, you think about an actor on stage. I mean, they are taught to effectively execute total command of that space. When you go and see an actor, say on stage, they, no matter what character role they play, when they're center stage, they have total, complete status. And so it's not really about hierarchy or ego or being vulnerable or dominant and those kind of dichotomies. If anything, it's actually about being the kind of person who's able to create a safe space for people and communicate in a really clear and open way. And we make the mistake, I think, of thinking that status is fixed, is about hierarchy, it's about things that are predetermined outside my control. But actually, you can change it. You have the power to change it. I mean, just think about somebody who deliberately, perhaps, they don't mean to, but they diminish the space they take. Okay, they might lower themselves, they might make themselves small versus somebody who occupies a lot of space. Okay, think about somebody who takes really short breaths like this versus somebody who kind of breathes out and communicates outward with open body language. If you've ever gone to maybe at work or anywhere else, you may have seen people who are really nervous about public speaking. I mean, we all are to an extent. It's one of those things you only ever get good at the more you do it. And what they'll do sometimes, they'll lock eyes with one person that they feel comfortable with, and they won't look away from them. They can't bear to look around the room. Whereas if you look at a confident communicator, what they do is that they will look at every single person in that room, because they're not trying to say, look at me, look how bold and courageous I am. No, a really effective communicator does that because they want to communicate to each and every single person there that they matter. And so it's stuff like that, which is really simple. But if you start thinking in that way, you can really transform the way that people receive you. And the more you do it, the more confident you're going to come off. You're going to increase your status. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do for a living. It's really important for you to know that it's about how you carry yourself in the world. It doesn't mean, you got to be cruel, or you got to be, like obnoxious or anything like that. No, it's quite the opposite, actually. It's about really respecting and valuing each and every single person that you communicate with by being present, by giving them some good eye contact, and really paying attention to what they say, and coming across and modulating and communicating effectively in an open way so that they get the sense that you really care about what it is you're saying to them. And I've written down some stuff I think might be helpful to kind of think about just as you're going into an exchange, particularly one that might be particularly impactful. So firstly, you've got to relax, okay? Don't be so tense. I make this mistake all the time, and I've got to remind myself. And what I like to do is I like to take my shoulders all the way to my ears, stretch to where it's uncomfortable, and then just drop them. The other thing I learned is box breathing. I learned this from boxing. So to control nerves before sparring or a competition, it's box breathing. You breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and then exhale for 5. I'm relaxed already. And so to not throw too many, I think I'll just stick with those. Just relax, try those techniques out. There's definitely others that you want to look into. And here's one more. Look at historical figures, whether alive or from the past, historic figures from the past, or individuals that are alive now, who you think are effective communicators, and just study them. Think about what they do well. Look up great speeches and listen to those. What is it that makes these people effective communicators? Is it their ability to connect with their audience? Some famous communicators had a fantastic ability of connecting with each and every individual, and some were much better at conjuring images that really moved people, whatever it may be. I can't think of anyone's in particular right now, but you're kind of getting what I mean. And one thing I want to leave you with is to think about what is one bit of behavior that you're going to change about yourself to increase your status, and what's one thing that you're going to change or do to increase the status of others. It could be a family, a sibling, it could be a friend, it could be somebody at work, your colleagues, the people you manage, whoever it may be. Try and think of an action or an amendment to the way that you communicate that will increase their status and yours. Thank you.